Here we go, folks. We're back here for another review of The Walking Dead. This time we're here for episode 10 of season 11, which is the part 2 of the extended season with 24 episodes. So this is technically the second episode since the break. I'm going to read the synopsis because the fact that I'm able to release both of these reviews together, both episode 9 and then episode 10 together, you know, it's always the correlation of like watching this review first before you watch the other review, not knowing what happened beforehand. I don't want to be deemed responsible for spoilers when it's really technically not my fault here. So the synopsis of episode 10, again, 11-10, episode 10 of season 11, the second part, is called New Hunts. Weeks have passed since the Alexandrians arrived at the Commonwealth. They're adjusting to their classifications, they're assigned jobs, and they're oddly making new friends. So that's that. And the biggest question for me was like, you know, if it was up to me, I would have did the break at at episode 9. That would have been a good breaking point. I get they're trying to break it up by, you know, the equal amounts of episodes, but I would have absolutely I would have stopped it at episode 9, because the cliffhanger at episode 9 and then where this one picks up at, it just makes sense. And like I said, this one picks up with them being at Alexandria now. So, you know, where it left off at, because again, I don't want to spoil what happened in episode 9 by watching this review. It just made more sense if this would have just been the premiere of the second part of season 11. That's just my take here. But let's just say, yeah, everybody's getting adjusted to their new life now. Things are a little bit different for everybody. And, you know, now that they're at the Commonwealth, you know, this could be a fresh start for them. And, you know, we've seen them. We've seen our beloved Walking Dead family have new starts numerous times. But this is the first time they actually had a place that they didn't have to build. It's already been established. Probably established longer than them being at Alexandria and all. And, like, they absolutely have pulled. There's a lot of rank. There's a lot of resources and everything at the Commonwealth. So, like, it's literally just them fitting in, you know? So this is very different from them. But it was really cool to see everybody with their kids and families, and just, it was a lot of joy in the air. So that was a big part of this episode, just seeing everybody be happy, you know? But we know some of our characters, some of them just can't be happy. Some of them just always proactively happen to do something. And Carol's one, which we'll come back to in a second. But them now being at the Commonwealth does bring some other old world times responsibilities and things that one may even stress about. And that's having money again, because you need money to buy things, and having jobs. And, you know, because some have kids, then there's the demand of what your kids want. So that's like a whole different aspect for them. And especially for Daryl, who main priority is the protection and happiness of Judith. So, like, if Judith wants some toys, then Daryl got to go to work in order to make some money so that Judith can have some toys. Like that's just the mindset here. But ultimately, the weirdest thing for me with this episode is seeing the Walking Dead sort of live this normal lifestyle while us in real life are in the pandemic in this strange pre-apocalyptic times, it seemed like. Like, it is definitely weird seeing them just operate normal. And I'm just like, wait, that's weird, because we're not even doing that, you know? But going back to Carol does what she does best, and that's worry. She's always very nurturing. She's always in protection of her folks. This time specifically, Ezekiel, who we know is still dealing with the cancer and is waiting for treatment, and she needs to get answers, because she needs to make sure that this happens in order to protect herself and his health. So, you know, that's what she's after right now. She has her very Carol tactic ways to make sure that these things can come to light, you know? But with everybody now being in the Commonwealth, you know, people are kind of playing nice with their neighbors, which is really weird, because we used to seeing our Walking Dead family together, but seeing them actually, like, kind of in separate parts with other people it's different. It's different. And then some are doing training, because everyone has different assignments and whatnot, so there is some training. We have now, and speaking of training, we know Daryl doesn't play nice with anybody, so there's that. He's a loner. We get that. And I think Mercer respects that. That's something that I'm looking forward to seeing, more Daryl and Mercer interaction. But the Walkers, now known as the Rotters now, so like we got we got to keep up with the times now. The Empties, the Walkers, the Rotters, whatever it may be. So that's that. Princess, I gotta tell you, I'm not spoiling this, but I will say I am super intrigued about this newfound situationship, I should say, that Princess is having. I'm gonna eat this all up. I'm a huge fan of Princess, the character. And even the actor as well too. That I can't wait to see where it goes next for Princess. That's what I'm gonna say with that. But even still with that, everyone's still getting adjusted to their new roles, their new positions, their new friendships, and all of that. There is some interesting things that is happening within the Commonwealth. One thing I will say is Connie and the governor of the Commonwealth, Pamela Milton, they have a past before they got to this, to the end of days, shall I say. So it's interesting because we haven't really seen Connie in this capacity, and it's intriguing. And I love her so much. And oh my God, I can't wait to see what's next for that. But with the Commonwealth, which we know is basically politically ran, they have a vision, and we know everybody's not going to buy into the vision because even with the vision, there is, not all truths behind it. And we know how this works. Like, think about this now. The world in politics, So before, middle, and after, everyone doesn't always buy into, like, whatever the political campaign or approach or vision may be. And I think this is just another example is that, like, while the Commonwealth seem to be functioning, there's still going to be folks that are, like, not for it. On another note, Sebastian is going to be a problem. I have nothing else to add to that. I just know he's going to be a problem. That's just my personal take here. So, but here's the thing now. Some of the decisions that our beloved Walking Dead family, we're going to have to decide is they're going to land them on the good side or the bad side of this journey. And that's also going to kind of divide the viewers as to who you really behind. Are you trusting the Commonwealth? Are you trusting the ones who's buying into it? Are you trusting the ones who still, have reservations about it? There's a lot, and still this Alexandria is still out there. So that's that. But I gotta say, man, again, the way how episode 9 ended, that should have been the break. This should have been the premiere for the second part easily. It just makes more sense. It was probably easier storytelling and everything, but we'll see where we go from here. But that's that. Oh, and I must add really quickly that considering the way that episode 9 ended, and they gave us a title screen about how much time had passed. Remember I said time jump? It is interesting that we are getting sort of date counters, so we know exactly how much time has lapsed till we ultimately get to that point, which is now we're looking at a timeline between as to, like, we know where episode 9 ended, we know where we're at in episode 10. When do we get to that point, and how do we get to the point? That right there is going to be a story in its own, so we have to wait and see. But hey folks, can't wait to be back for more Walking Dead reviews. Each and every week we're here talking Walking Dead. Jump in the comments, folks. Let me know your thoughts about this episode 10. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.